Today's Mass readings. September 16, 2020. Memorial of Saints Cornelius, Pope, and Cyprian, Bishop, Martyrs. Wednesday of the 24th week in Ordinary Time. Today the Church commemorates two friends in the service of Christ and His Church. Cornelius, a Roman, was the 21st Pope during the reign of the Emperor Gallus and Volusian. He had to oppose Novatian, the first anti-pope, who believed that apostates who repented could not be forgiven. Helped by Saint Cyprian, Cornelius confirmed his papal authority. He was beheaded in exile at Civitavecchia, Italy in year 253 AD. Saint Cyprian and Cornelius are mentioned in the Roman Canon or the first Eucharistic prayer of the Mass. Pope Cornelius lived from 251 to 253 AD, was the successor to Pope Fabian. During his reign a controversy arose concerning the manner of reinstating those who had fallen from the faith under the duress of persecution. The Novatians accused the Pope of too great indulgence and separated themselves from the Church. With the help of Saint Lucina, Cornelius transferred the remains of the princes of the apostles to places of greater honor. On account of his successful preaching the pagans banished him to Centumcellae, where he died. Saint Cyprian sent him a letter of condolence. At the time of Pope Cornelius there were at Rome 46 priests, 7 deacons, 7 subdeacons, 42 acolytes, 52 clerics and more than 500 widows, who were supported by the Church. Dascius Caecilius Cyprianus, illustrious as a pagan rhetorician in Carthage, embraced the true faith in the year 246 and was soon thereafter consecrated priest and bishop of that city in the year 248. He was an energetic shepherd of souls and a prolific writer. He defended the unity of the Church against schismatic movements in Africa and Italy, and greatly influenced the shaping of Church discipline relative to reinstating Christians who had apostatized. He fled during the Dacian persecution but guided the Church by means of letters. During the Valerian persecution in year 258 he was beheaded. He suffered martyrdom in the presence of his flock, after giving the executioner 25 pieces of gold. Saint Jerome says of him, "It is superfluous to speak of his greatness, for his works are more luminous than the sun." Cyprian ranks as an important church father, one whose writings are universally respected and often read in the divine office. His principal works are on the unity of the Church, on apostates, a collection of letters, the Lord's Prayer, on the value of patience. First reading. A reading from the first letter of Paul to the Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 31 to chapter 13 verse 13. Brothers and sisters, strive eagerly for the greatest spiritual gifts, but I shall show you a still more excellent way. If I speak in human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy, and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away everything I own, and if I hand my body over so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It is not jealous, love is not pompous. It is not inflated, it is not rude. It does not seek its own interests. It is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. If there are prophecies, they will be brought to nothing. If tongues, they will cease. If knowledge, it will be brought to nothing. For we know partially and we prophesy partially. But when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. When I was a child, I used to talk as a child, think as a child, reason as a child. When I became a man, I put aside childish things. At present we see indistinctly, as in a mirror. But then face to face. At present I know partially. Then I shall know fully, as I am fully known. So faith, hope, love remain, these three. But the greatest of these is love. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Psalms chapter 33 verse 2 to 5, 12 and 22. Let our response be, bless the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. Give thanks to the Lord on the harp. With a 10-stringed lyre chant his praises. Sing to him a new song. Pluck the strings skillfully, with shouts of gladness. Bless the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. For upright is the word of the Lord, and all his works are trustworthy. He loves justice and right. Of the kindness of the Lord the earth is full. Bless the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. Bless the nation whose God is the Lord, the people he has chosen for his own inheritance. May your kindness, O Lord, be upon us, who have put our hope in you. Bless the people the Lord has chosen to be his own. Before we proceed with the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Also, please hit the notification bell, so you won't miss out when we release new videos. Feel free to share your comments, suggestions, and reflections at the comments section down below. Thank you and God bless. Now, let's proceed with the video. Gospel reading. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Luke chapter 7 verse 31 to 35. Jesus said to the crowds, "To what shall I compare the people of this generation? What are they like? They are like children who sit in the marketplace and call to one another. We played the flute for you, but you did not dance. We sang a dirge, but you did not weep. For John the Baptist came neither eating food nor drinking wine, and you said, he is possessed by a demon. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you said, look, he is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But wisdom is vindicated by all her children." The Gospel of the Lord. The reflection on today's Gospel. Today's passage follows immediately after the scene where Jesus answers the query from John the Baptist languishing in prison about whether Jesus is truly the Messiah. Jesus uses the occasion to speak words of high praise for John. Of all the children born of women, there is no one greater than John. Jesus now criticizes the cynicism and self-contradictory attitudes of those who reject both him and John. They have simply closed their ears and want to hear nothing and learn nothing. He compares them to children in a city square calling to their playmates. When we played lively music for you, you would not dance. When we played funereal music, you would not mourn. This comparison Jesus applies to John the Baptist and himself. John led an austere life in the desert, eating, as we are told elsewhere, only locusts and wild honey. They said he was mad and rejected him. Jesus came leading a highly convivial life, mixing with all kinds of people. They called him a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and other sinful people. He even invited a tax collector to be one of his 12 apostles. It was a no-win situation. When people are like that, there is really nothing that can be done. Jesus concludes with the enigmatic statement, "Wisdom has been proved right by all her children." Both John and Jesus could both be described as children of wisdom, whose origin is God himself. Those who can see the hand of God in the lives of John and Jesus are also children of wisdom. Those who adamantly refuse to see God are not. It is important for us not to fall into such a trap. God speaks to us in so many ways and through so many people and situations. It is very easy to find ourselves excluding a priori the people or situations by which God is trying to reach us. We cannot expect God to speak to us in ways which we find congenial. He may speak to us through a saint or a sinner, through a conservative or a liberal, through a man or a woman or a young child, through an old person or a young person, through an educated or an illiterate person, through a local person or a foreigner, through a straight or gay person, through a saint or a sinner. We have at all times to be ready to listen with an unprejudiced mind and heart.